Hello my friends, it seems like Ukraine is clearing the way to reach the Kerch Bridge because the Russian air defense systems were kaputted just the last night in the Kerch part of the Crimean peninsula, very close to the Kerch Bridge itself. So Ukrainian attack drones appear to have struck the Russian S-3 or S-400 system SAM battery guarding the northern approach to the Kerch Strait overnight. Multiple large fires were detected by firms on the site at around 3 am, so 5 hours ago by the time I'm recording this video. And immediately we have the video published by the Ukrainian military intelligence, their special drone unit. So it's not the Ukrainian drone army with the chief commander Magyar, no. Military intelligence, they also have separate units which are very capable. And you see what is there? That's the Russian air defense, SAM, S-300 or maybe even S-400. It's hard to judge on this image, but it's not a decoy, because after we see a huge kaboom in a place, and there is another drone, it hit the radar of S-400 system. Here is on the left, and the drone turned right before the impact, so it was zeroed. So the situation is like that. Ukraine cancels the Russian air defense systems all around Crimea and military bases, military airfields close to the Kerch Bridge, but at the same time Russia constantly sends those to Crimea via the Kerch Bridge. And this is not the endless story, because Russia has limited resources after all, even for such a big country, because Russia also needs to protect its own infrastructure on its own territory. Well, Moscow after all, Putin himself. And you already know from my previous video that Russia is building new spots for the air defense systems in Moscow and different regions of Russia, more than 150 around, so they need air defense units, but the production in Russia is now limited, especially under the sanctions. They cannot produce that much. That's why Ukraine gradually increases those strikes on Russian air defense in Crimea to clear the way for something which is really big. Well, Ukraine may reach the Kerch Bridge connection even now with the smaller drones, but you understand that they might carry not too much of the TNT, so they will not cut that connection. However, Ukraine has one special tool, and it is called FP5 Flamingo. And Flamingo may carry a very huge payload, more than 1,000 tons of the warhead, and it is built around the aviation bomb. It just has wings, jet engine, and may fly for a very long range. But the only downside, which is significant for this missile, is that it is very big. And every sort of the Russian radar sees it as a very vivid target. The smaller air defense systems, the bigger ones, it's like the airplane flying basically, not the 5th generation with the stealth technology, but the usual one, a very huge missile. So this is the main reason for Russia to continue to deploy those air defense systems like Taurus, Panzer S-1, S-300, S-400, despite the losses. Their main goal is not to let this particular thing to reach the Kerch Bridge, because a couple of those would be enough to damage that connection for a quite long period of time. And here we have the answer why Ukraine is still not cutting that connection. Simply it's not possible for this moment by the time Ukraine continue to clear the approach for the Kerch Bridge connection. And yeah, definitely if you look at those images, this is the place where the Russian air defense was positioned. We might find it on the standard Google images. So here are the launchers and radars and whatever. It is gone. My friends, just a reminder, but it is very important for the channel support. Please press your like to this video just right now while you're watching it. And also subscribe to the channel. We're on the way to reach 1 million subscribers. I hope pretty much soon as possible. Well, it all depends on you. Also, please, if you can, you may support my job on Patreon. The link for it is in the video description right below, or you may join YouTube membership by pressing button join. Yeah, obviously, if you can, if you have this opportunity and you're willing to do so. Thank you guys, you're making this content possible. And let's continue with the video. If you see the guys in those purple shirts, it means that those are the Wildberries employees. And finally, Russia start to announce some of the evacuation of the personnel before, prematurely, Then they have the drone warning. This is Yekaterinburg, the place where Ukrainian drone already visited the facility, but missed a little and hit the car parking, causing also some of the fire, and actually around 100 vehicles were demolished or damaged. And this is Moscow Oblast. Somewhere there is one more storage, and Russia has announced the evacuation of the personnel. Horizontal vertical video. Well, what I may say, well done, finally, because this is how it should be. To avoid the possible losses, especially among civilians, it's better to evacuate those people. Yeah, of course, they stopped the operation of the particular warehouse, and they may announce those evacuations like every day, because every day Ukraine launches the strikes on Russia. But it is a good thing to do, because they saved the lives, and those people will be fine. But the storage maybe will go gamaush. Avitech. This is the factory that was visited by Ukrainian drones recently, and it is producing the air defense missiles for the Russian air defense systems. The facility was successfully flamingoed, and I may tell that those people who work there, they participated in the Russian war machine in general. They were producing something that is used by the Russian military. So this is the legitimate target, and of course this is what Ukraine should do. Judging on those flowers out here, it seems like there are lots of the losses. Some of the kabooms happened today in Udmurtia Republic, the city of Sarapul, or town, like it's really far away. There is also some of the military factory, it's called Horizon. It belongs to the Russian Reserve of Military Production. And judging on the videos coming, it was definitely the ground kaboom, so the projectile, whether it was a drone or missile, was not intercepted. Taganrog, this is the Black Sea and very close to the port, something kaboomed there as well. Yeah, and this is Belgorod. Well, Belgorod is very close, so is it a big news for Belgorod? I don't think so. Meanwhile, Russia continued to hit some of the commercial vessels that belong to the third countries in the Black Sea, not that far away from Odessa port. For example, this cargo ship went down to the bottom after it was hit by Russian cruise missile. Yes, they use even cruise missiles against commercial vessels. And for the past 2 weeks, Russia intensified the strikes on those ships significantly. It happened after Ukraine also boosted the strikes against the Russian commercial ships in Azov and Black Sea. So the escalation is ongoing full scale. No one says about the safe operations of the cargo ships any longer. I would say in Crimea, Ukrainian ports, Russian ports, the main companies, they refuse to operate. Alright, the news about mobilization. Zelensky gave the interview to some of the Western media where he says that after Duma elections on September 21st, there is the plan for Putin to get more people to his army, to mobilize from 3 up to 500,000 people. A significant percentage of the Russian population is also against the war, but they still support Putin. They will not be able to prepare these people quickly. This again means that they will send poorly prepared people to battlefield. And this is for the part means great losses. Yes, as it happened in 2022, when Putin announced the initial mobilization. After it, many Russians actually left Russia. And there are lots of the signs that Russia definitely prepares for the new step, which could be even more harsh, to mobilize their men into the army quite fast. For example, there is the new decree for the Russian National Guard, and they have the new norm that allows them to use force during the mobilization period, during the time of the military or martial law announcement. So this is the new thing that was just introduced into their statute of the Russian National Guard, basically the armed police forces. The National Guard usually has the better equipment, and it's the private Putin's army. And Russians are complaining that they're being called to the Russian conscription centers, and they already have their mobilization notices, that in case of the martial law, in case of mobilization announcement, they should go and join the army, sign the contract, or they will be searched by the Russian police and they cannot longer exit Russia. So it is already happening. And Russia tries to do it behind the curtain, so particular individuals are already being searched. and they do not massively restrict people, just whom they really need. You know, who served in the Russian army before as conscripts, those are the main targets for Russia. So those are the Russian disabled battalions, or how to call those. Yeah, they fight in those crutches. Yeah, crutch battalions. So they've been thrown to the midwave attacks even with those disabilities. Is there something new? Well, no. This is the Russian army. They're taking everyone to army. 62 years old, this guy tells. Okay. Guys, do you want to see a real Russian Navy parade? That didn't happen with Putin, but Russians still celebrate, you see? This is the Russian Navy in this in this sea. And this is a Russian brainwashed family. Let's watch it. SpongeBob SquarePants. Where is the Ukrainian drone boat? Yeah, actually this is the marine flag of the Soviet Union, not of Russia. Who are those people? What is this country? Come on. And this is already the modern flag of the Russian Navy. It's called Andreevsky flag, which is the same as the Russian ROA, Русская освободительная армия, or Russian Liberation Army. They were fighting for Nazis during the Second World War, and according to estimates, more than 1 million people joined it. 1 million, and they're telling that Ukrainian Bandera or so on was cooperating with Nazis. Okay. Alright guys, those were the main news for this hour. I'm gonna keep you updated, and please follow me on Patreon if you can. The link for it is in the video description right below, or join membership of the channel by pressing button join if you watch me on YouTube, of course. My friends, thank you so much for your kind support and for making this content possible. Also, don't forget to press a like to this video, subscribe for the channel. I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.